In 2016, drugs killed more Americans than the entire Vietnam War. 58,000 soldiers died in 10 years in Vietnam. 64,000 Americans died of overdoses in 1 year. And most of their stories began the same way: a doctor, a prescription, pills. Sarah, 32, a nurse from suburban Philadelphia. After a C-section, she was prescribed OxyContin, a painkiller. 3 weeks later, the prescription ran out. No pain. She asked for a refill, then another. 6 months later, the pharmacy OxyContin cost her $30 a pill. A bag of heroin on Kensington Avenue cost $5. She first moved there in March. By August, she was living there. Sarah was lucky. She survived. Tens of thousands of others did not. Kensington Avenue, 5 kilometers, North Philadelphia. 8 subway stops from Independence Hall, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. The largest open-air drug market on the East Coast of the United States. Get off at Allegheny Station and enter another world. The sidewalks are covered in syringes. Every 20 meters, there is a person frozen in a half-bent position, like a broken mannequin. Those who are conscious shoot up right on the street. No hiding, no looking back, no one talking, no one asking for money. Silence and the smell of despair. People around the world Google Kensington Zombie 3,600 times a month. The top 100 videos from the street have garnered 300 million views. Viewers from Mexico, Germany, and Indonesia watch Americans die on camera. But Kensington wasn't always like this. In the 19th century, this was an industrial district. Textile factories, foundries, Irish, Polish, Italian families, brick houses with porches, churches, schools, bars on every corner. The neighborhood was alive. Then, starting in the 60s, the factories closed. Manufacturing went to Asia. Jobs disappeared. Those who could, left. Those who couldn't were trapped. Buildings were empty. Stores were boarded up. By the 80s, there were no jobs, no doctors, no decent stores. Emptiness. And into this emptiness came drugs. Heroin took over Kensington in the 1990s. Nearby was I-95, a subway station, dozens of abandoned warehouses, a perfect spot. But heroin was only a prelude. In 2014, fentanyl arrived, a synthetic opioid, 100 times more potent than morphine. 2 milligrams, a few grains on a fingertip, is a lethal dose. Cheaper than heroin, easier to transport, and it kills instantly. Dealers started mixing it with heroin, then stopped adding heroin altogether. Buyers paid for heroin and received pure fentanyl. The difference between a high and death is in milligrams. In 2013, 400 people died of drug overdoses in Philadelphia. In 22, 1,413, a 3.5-fold increase, more than from murders, accidents, and diabetes combined. Then came xylazine, horse tranquilizer, street name, tranq. It's mixed with fentanyl to prolong the effect. It works. The person passes out for hours, stands but not here, bent over, immobile, zombie. But xylazine eats away at the skin, opens sores, necrosis, gangrene, amputations. And most importantly, naloxone, which protects against fentanyl overdose, is ineffective against xylazine. By 1921, 100% of street drugs in Kensington contained xylazine, every single dose. In 2024, medetomidine, a veterinary analgesic 200 times more potent than xylazine, appeared. Within 12 months, it was found in 83% of street samples. At the same time, an industrial plastic stabilizer was found in doses. People are injecting themselves with substances to make pipes. They don't know it. Every injection is a gamble. The city tried. 100,000 doses of naloxone in 2023 alone. 1,500 doctors prescribing buprenorphine, a drug used to treat fentanyl cravings. $20 million in federal funds for treatment programs. An attempt to open the country's first supervised consumption center was blocked by the courts. Mayor Parker ordered the streets cleared in 2024. Tents were bulldozed. People moved to neighboring blocks. They began sleeping on the doorsteps of apartment buildings. By 2024, the death rate had dropped to 1,450, the first time in 3 years. But the decline was uneven. Minus 15% among whites, minus 5% among blacks, and plus 2% among Hispanics. The crisis isn't going away. It's changing its address. 44% of Philadelphia residents personally know someone with an addiction. 1 in 3 knows someone who has died from an overdose. These aren't just distant statistics. These are neighbors, co-workers, children. This is Kensington. Not a story about weak people making bad choices. A story about emptiness. About what happens when everything disappears from a neighborhood. Jobs, money, healthcare, hope. And what's left is a space filled with the only available resources. 5 kilometers of street, 8 stops from the Declaration of Independence, 15 minutes by subway. Same country, different world.